Hello everyone, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and today we're going to aim to train around an hour of chess training. Apologies for the late start, 5 minutes into the stream already. Just had something pop up that I had to deal with once I'd already clicked go live. So that should be sorted, and as the title suggests, basically I had some morning lessons today, and I did have my sleep schedule back on track, but I ended up staying up too late. Actually not doing anything degenerate. It was just I had to book some travel stuff. And I was like, okay, tonight's the night. Let's just get it out of the way. So booked all the travel stuff. Didn't sleep well. Had lessons to teach in the morning. And I guess the degeneracy came in with online chess. But I actually think like it's good for me to get back into the swing of just playing some games, because as well as the over-the-board chess has been going, I would say that I feel like I'm getting a bit rusty with certain structures, just because when you play over the board, you only get experience of a handful of positions, right? Whereas online, you're just getting such a bombardment of different variations of your repertoire. So no, I'm glad to be getting back into the swing of it a bit. And yeah, I guess let's solve some Woodpecker. Welcome, Josh, to the stream. Good to see you doing some tournament prep in a cafe. Sounds like vibes. Also had to teach a lesson early in the mornings. I'm kind of tired. Yeah, honestly, teaching tires you out, especially depending on the student. Like some students, like, God, you are you are absolutely drained by the end of it. But yeah, let's get into some Woodpecker. Let's begin some solving. I'm glad to see that my latest upload did pretty well in terms of views. Looks like it got out to the people and people liked it. So that's nice. And yeah, let's keep learning. Ljubljevich against Khalifman. Black to play and win. I swear, Ljubljevich, I see this guy's name all the time. I think he's like some 2600 from back in the day. And every game I see of his, he always loses. Like, I don't know why. But yeah. Ljubljevich to lose. So, what do we have? We got Queen, Rook, Rook, Knight against 5 pawns. With 5 pawns against Queen, Rook, Rook, Bishop. 5 pawns. So, Knight against Bishop. Lots of tension in the position. Pawn is tension against our Queen. Queen here. Knight on the rooks, knight hitting the pawns, rook hitting the pawn, queen hitting the pawn, bishop defending for its life, pressure on e5. What else is there to note? Also, I think I'm tired because I also played badminton for the first time in around 1.5 years. And yeah, I haven't done any sport of any kind, any exercise of any kind, except for walking. So I think my body just is like complaining. But okay. So any x-rays to make note of? Do I have a crazy lag, or is it just my phone? Oh, I think it's just my phone. Okay, I think we're good. Right. So any x-rays to mention? Maybe there's like x-rays through the pawn onto these squares, potentially for a checkmate. X-ray to the queen, X-ray to the king, X-ray to the rook. Loose pieces? Actually, no loose pieces, but this is obviously almost hanging. This is hanging. Rook is only defended by the queen. Oh, the pawn is loose, actually. This pawn is loose as well. This pawn is also loose. Fine, so what checks do we have? We got check, we got check. What captures do we have? We got capture, 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 capture. We've got any threats? I mean, our queen is being hit right now. Maybe rook here is a threat, but not really. So, I mean, at the very least, surely they can just take it, right? And then we're down a rook. Material's equal at the start, so we've got to be careful. I'm also looking for potential forks near the king, like something like this, if there was like some way to pull that off. Ah, I just saw this threat of queen f3, because if they take the knight, then I can take here, and then there's this x-ray, right? The bishop can't take because of the queen. So maybe this is a good way to save the queen. So okay, we've got some ideas. So let's begin with our checks. This surely doesn't work. Just pawn takes or queen takes. Both are fine. Queen check here. They'll just take it. Captures. This capture's okay, but we do lose a knight. Looked at these captures already. We could take with a knight, hitting the queen. If they take, then we take. But then they take, and that's no good. We can take the rooks, but we lose our queen. Same with this one. We get one check, but it's not enough. So I think all the captures aren't working. We look, and this one also doesn't work. Just bishop takes. Wait, does it? If bishop takes, then queen takes. So hold on. Rook takes. They'll just take our queen, right? So okay, I think probably then the threat of just saying that, okay, I'm gonna take on f2 is probably nice. Queen f3. If they don't take our knight, we're threatening the fork still. And this actually not just immune to the capture, but we have a huge threat on g2. And is there any way to defend that? Probably not. So I think this is just the answer, queen f3. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Josh says, I believe there is a very famous game in the Sicilian where Ljubovich won. Kind of pioneered a certain line. Maybe it was knight d5 sacrifice. Oh, that's crazy. That's cool. I know the sacrifice, but I didn't know it was linked to Ljubovich. LMAO, no. I just found a video and it's Velimirovic against Ljubovich, and black is losing in the game. Guy can't catch a break. Yeah. So again, we see another loss. Poor man, poor man. You know what? Let's look the guy up. Like, I feel so bad. We've just been dunking on this this player. Why does he look like that actor? Which actor am I talking about? You know that famous actor. What's his name? What's his name? I don't know actors' names. That's the problem. So famous though. What's that? This is so stupid. Oh, famous gangster movies, old. Oh, probably it's on the IMDb list, to be fair. What's the guy's name? You guys know which actor I'm talking about, right? I'm not tripping. He looks exactly the same as him. Anyway, Serbian chess grandmaster. It's Serbian. Let's see. Peak rating 2645. I knew he was good. I knew he was very, very good. It's not like Robert Downey Jr., is it? Who is that? Oh, wait, maybe it's Robert De Niro. Maybe that's who I'm... Yeah, I think that's the guy I'm thinking of. Do they not look really similar? Wait, is it this guy? Man, I don't know. I don't remember. Who cares? Who cares? I think they look really similar. That's close enough. Okay, anyway. 2650 peak. The lad is still alive. Peak number 3 in the world. Has LinkedIn. That's crazy. Let's check out Lubio Yavich's LinkedIn. Okay, I'm getting very distracted. Let's get back to the puzzles. I'm just curious to see what there is. Should I follow Lubio Yavich? Oh, that is not the same guy. Okay, never mind. That is not the same guy. Never mind. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, if anyone can find a game that Lubio Yavich won and is famous, then please share. I think Lubio Yavich comes up twice in my C3 Venom course, and both times it's a loss. Okay, Khalif Men against Larson. We got Rook, Knight, Knight, Bishop against Rook, Knight, Knight, Bishop. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So, King's quite exposed. Our King is quite safe in comparison. Although it's on the dark square, we've got dark square Bishop. What do we do again? Tension, peace tension, protection. Loose Knight that's being pressured. Knight blockading the pawn. Somehow these pieces are a bit clunky. Okay, any X-rays? I guess this is an X-ray, this is an X-ray. This is an X-ray, actually. Could be relevant if they push. And loose pieces. So there's a loose knight on f5, loose bishop on e3, loose knight on c3. Bishop is protecting rook. Protection. So black's piece is a bit more secure. Okay, so white's knight is in trouble. What checks do we have? We got check. What captures do we have? We can sack the rook. And what threats do we have? Given that none of black's pieces are loose, it's hard to find a threat. One funky idea is h4 with the idea of h5, just to keep the king imprisoned, but I don't really believe it. Like, the king can always move to g4. What? Yeah, okay, so I was going to say what checks again. Jesus Christ, Michael. Okay, let's start looking at the checks. So, if knight e7... If bishop takes, I mean, this looks like an improvement for sure. So knight e7, king needs to move. If king moves to the edge of the board... I guess we've got this idea of knight c6. Although when rook c8 is played, if we take the knight, they take our knight. But maybe... no, there's no knight rook c7 because the knight can take it. So knight e7, king h5, knight c6, rook c8. Not so happy with that. Unless we can argue that knight e7, king h5, knight c6, rook c8, rook takes, and then rook takes. With check. If king g6, then I've got rook h6. And then I can save the pawn either with knight e4 or like push the pawn, something like this. So it does look decent. Knight e7, if they go back to the 7th rank, let's say f7, and we do the same job, well then this comes with check, so this is just going to be an improvement, and same with on g7. So just to quickly check, is there anything better at this moment when the king goes to the edge? I'm looking at checkmating ideas. To be fair, knight e4 looks strong as well, because I'm threatening to sack the rook, rook takes, and knight takes f6 to fork the king and knight. So maybe knight e4 is just enough to be winning there. Because yeah, if king g4 to escape, it doesn't really. It's still in forking distance. So I think we can just go knight e7. I think it's really strong. I don't think anything else looks stronger. Yeah, okay, so they play that move. That feels really wrong. I mean, this just comes with check now. I guess, actually, one move I missed was king e8. Maybe I should have looked a bit further. What do we do if king e8? It's quite an annoying move. Rook takes knight, king e8. Oh, maybe I've got knight takes e5, defending my rook, and if bishop takes, then I've got rook e7 to pick up the knight. But then they take my knight, but then we've won a pawn. Is that enough? Rook takes d7, king e8, knight takes e5, bishop takes e5, rook e7, king f8, rook takes e6, bishop takes c3. To be fair, I can push d7, and on rook d8, then I can just go rook d6. And I'm threatening to play bishop b6 or bishop g5. So that makes me think, okay, rook d7, king e8, knight takes e5, bishop takes e5, rook e7. King d8 might be better. But why take the knight when we can just play a move like knight d5 maybe? Because actually they've still got this problem which they can't get out of. Or maybe if we want to be less ambitious than knight e5, we just go like knight e2 or something. So we make sure we cover this queening square. Yeah, I think that's winning. Just knight e5. And the point is we're not going to take quickly. So bishop e5, rook e7. And then we just... Oh, I thought we can just move the knight here. Let's have a look. Okay, so if king here... Yeah, knight d5 was my initial idea, and I also thought knight e2 was also fine. Yeah, good. Oh, knight e2 blunders. Oh no, it doesn't quite blunder. I'm still winning the piece, but it does blunder the pawn. But yeah, it's still a piece. Yeah, and if king f8, yeah, again the same idea of moving the knight. Did I just glitch chessable? You see that like blue arrow? I think I spasmed and accidentally drew an arrow on the same spot. How did I do that? I don't think I can ever replicate that. That's crazy. Hopefully it doesn't bug my entire board when I leave this page. Yeah, and this probably isn't enough, right? Bishop takes c3. Oh, but I was looking at this position with d7 here. But it's king e7, which I missed. Okay, fine. Yeah. But okay, we got this one right. Yeah, this is a nice line, I guess, actually. Yeah. Fine. Okay, let's do another. Glad to see the glitch is gone. Okay, Vaikanze. So we've got 2 rooks, 2 bishops, and 4 pawns against 2 rooks, 2 bishops, and 4 pawns. We got huge amounts of tension on these 2 bishops, also some X-ray, also some X-ray. Rook is tension here, rook tension here, rook tension here. Some pressure on his back rank. What about just rook takes h8, forcing king takes, and then rook takes g6. If pawn takes, then we go f7. If they take our bishop, we promote. And surely that's winning. I mean, queen and bishop against 2 rooks, probably it's good enough. So rook h8 forces this. Rook takes g6. They can ignore and take our bishop. And I realise I'm kind of tunnel visioning, so let's keep going. So we looked at tension, looked at x-rays, loose pieces, loose piece, loose piece. That's it. X-rays as well, we got this x-ray, 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 x-ray. Okay, so what checks do we have? We've got rook takes h8, we've got rook g6, and that's it. And I'm very curious, actually. Rook g6 looks very strong as well. If the king moves, we just give checkmate. If they take like this, then maybe now f7. And we just say, you know, if you take me, then I'm just going to take your bishop. And say, the 2 bishops are way stronger. It's very forcing. Or maybe it's just a better move order, actually. Yeah, because rook h8 and then we take. They don't have to take back, they can take, right? But here if we take, you know, they can't block because you just take it. So rook takes, pawn takes, and then we go rook takes h8. The only difference is they've got king f7. What's going on there? I don't know. I hate having options. And attacking chess is all about having options. And getting it right. Man. Oh, God. Man, my body aches so much from the badminton. I mean, it's going to be one of these moves. There's no way there's like some threat that's even stronger. It's just rook g6 or rook h8 first. Rook g6, king f8. No, rook g6, pawn takes g6. We either play f7 or we take on h8. If we take on h8, they have to go king f7. And I don't like taking the rook, but just king takes. And there's no bishop h5 because there's a pawn on g6. Rook h8, king h8, rook g6. Is rook takes e5 just a problem for us? Yeah, maybe that's just actually just a problem. So maybe then we just go rook d6, pawn here, and then we just take and then take. No. We go rook here, pawn here, and we go pawn f7, king takes, and we just take the two bishops and a rook against the two rooks. It should be an advantage. Should be a really, really clear advantage for white. So we're gonna do it. And my line was this. Okay, so yeah, it's only just better for white. Rook h8. Oh, I didn't consider this. I thought that the bishop was just going to anchor this pawn on c3. Is rook takes h8 the only move? It's not the only move. b5 is also like has play apparently. Rook h8 is apparently interesting with this. To be honest, I don't know how much I believe that. I feel like the bishop's super strong, and the engine kind of agrees. But rook h8, I didn't understand. I just thought king f7. I didn't see what the follow-up was. King f7. What's the move? Unless rook h7 does something. Oh, maybe I should have just calculated after king f7, rook h7. There's no king back to g8 because f7 check. So king f7, rook h7, king e6. My chat hasn't updated in a long while, so I presume it's probably bugged. So I'll check that in a sec once I finish this. But I don't get after king f7 what I'm supposed to do. Rook h7, king e6. Maybe just f7. Rook f8. And I guess in this line we also keep the two bishops against rook, and we keep this f pawn. So maybe that's compensation. Oh, I'm actually oh, my brain. 2100 brain, guys. 2100 brain. Yeah, so my logic here was rook h7. The bishops and the dangerous f-pawn decide. Rook takes e8 also gets the job done. How? Ah, king takes e8 and then just bishop e4? Maybe rook d1, king f2? King f7? Man, I don't see it. I don't get rook takes e8. So rook h7 I understood. Yeah. Is f7 playable here? No, rook f8. Then we're in trouble. Yeah, because I'm threatening to win the pawn, so I just have to go bishop d4. It's a tough exercise in a way. But rook e8, king e8? No, rook e8, yeah, king e8. So it's not bishop e4. It's just playing... Okay, so this idea is actually quite interesting. and getting the check this way, yeah, that's a very cool idea. It looks so slow, but it's completely fine. And rook d4, I guess, is... Bishop d4 is interesting. But bishop e4 doesn't work. Or it does. King f2, king f7. Maybe it's the same bishop c6 idea. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I didn't really consider this being a weakness. Crazy that Axel Smith doesn't even give rook takes h8 as a line. How crazy is that? Oh, is chat actually just quiet today? That's crazy. I assumed that my phone must have glitched, but we're just quiet chat. People are busy on a Friday. Fair enough. But yeah, no, crazy that Axel Smith doesn't even give rook takes h8 as an alternative or a line. I mean, it's like the most obvious looking move, but then it just doesn't work after rook e5. Okay, geographical term, welcome. Thanks for confirming the chat is indeed working. Right. Yeah, that was a weird one. Yeah, let's do another one. Can't believe there's still half an hour to go. Okay. We got queen, rook, bishop, knight against queen, rook, rook, bishop. So we're down the exchange, rook for knight. We got 4, 7, 4, 7. Okay, equal number of pawns. What about the tension in the position? There is tension here, 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 here. Rook needs some time to get in. Maybe there's some tension on this square. Some defense going on. X-ray onto g7 and to h8. X-ray to h8, X-ray to rook. Some crazy X-ray, but that's never going to open. Okay, so loose pieces. Loose bishop, loose queen. Loose queen. Okay, so checks. What checks do we have? Ooh, this looks like a nice check. Because if pawn takes, then we go bishop takes f6. And we're teeing up queen g4. There's no counter checks to our king. Looks pretty deadly. Whenever we can land a piece on f6, they can't push the f-pawn to escape. So knight h6, if the king moves to h8, when we go knight takes f7, king back to g8. Looks alright. Looks alright. But again, I'm tunnel visioning. So knight h6 is an option. What about queen h7? No. Queen f7? No. So we've looked at all the checks. What about captures? So we'll come back to knight h6, maybe. Oh, there's also knight e7, but knight e7 doesn't really look good. We got bishop takes f6. We got knight takes g7. So bishop f6, if pawn f6. I don't know why I'm like calculating before looking at all my candidates. So wait, got bishop f6. We also got knight g7. Are there any other threats? Maybe just a slow rook f3 to bring in the rook. That's still a threat. But yeah, we got to be aware that there's this check on e1. Any other threats? I guess queen g4 might be a threat of sorts. Okay, fine. So bishop takes f6. If pawn takes f6, queen g4, king h8. Don't really see a follow-up. Especially if, like, queen h4, they can just go bishop g7. Doesn't feel like enough. What about this knight takes g7, move 1? Knight takes g7, bishop g7. Not feeling it. So knight h6, if pawn takes, then we just go bishop takes f6, and I think we're happy there. So knight h6, they go king h8. Ooh, hold up. Knight h6, king h8, what about queen f7? Because then we're threatening queen g8 mate. If they take our knight, we go bishop takes f6, bishop blocks, and then queen takes mate. So how do we deal with this? They have to develop the bishop somewhere, like bishop d6. Do we have a follow-up here? Oh, what a move. What a move. Queen f7, bishop d6, queen g8. Kaboom. Rook takes and knight f7 mate. Wow. Yeah, knight 6 looks beautiful. Oh, they had to... Seriously, Axel Smith, you're going to make us do the boring one? Oh, this is alternative? I guess queen g4 is more direct, right? It comes with a check, so fair play. But both are winning. Yeah, queen f7 is definitely the harder move to spot. Because knight f7 is just not, like... Yeah, even actually is bad, right? It just doesn't work. But queen f7, I mean, it's just over. Yeah. Queen d6, queen g8, not the only move, but it's not acceptable to overlook such a chance. Well, I didn't overlook it, so that's nice. Geographical term says knight h6, king h8, queen f7. I'm pretty sure it's knight h6. Fantastic. Great spot. And welcome, Frizz, to the stream. How's it going? I am feeling all kinds of aches, and I have a lesson to teach in around half an hour. Just struggling. Just struggling to be alive today. Oh, that sounds way more dramatic than it needs to be. Just struggling to... What's the right word? I don't know. I think struggling to be alive is accurate. Doesn't mean that I want to die, you know? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's just difficult to... difficult to be alive. I think it's a fair statement. It's a fair statement. Sue me. Khalifman, don't sue me. Then that won't make me so happy. Okay, Khalifman against Mouse. We got queen, rook, bishop, knight, knight. And 5 pawns. Queen, rook, bishop, bishop, knight. And 5 pawns. So they've got bishop pair. We've got this monster of a pass pawn on d6. Just limiting their pieces. Bishop on e7 is securing it. Lots of tension on the board. We got rook, tension on the bishop. Got this f5 square that we're eyeing up. Tension on this pawn. Tension back and forth here. Tension, tension, tension. X-rays. I guess we got some X-ray from the rook. Some potential defense back this way. Okay, maybe some X-ray here. I mean, what about loose pieces? Not loose because of a queen. Loose rook, loose queen. Loose knight. Loose bishop? No, it's not loose, there's a knight here. So just loose knight, queen and rook. Fine, so what checks do we have? We've got queen h7. What captures do we have? We've got rook d3. What threats do we have? Maybe... Ooh, knight h5 might be something. Maybe queen f6, trying to prepare some kind of infiltration. Let's start with that. So queen h7, king h7 is just nothing. Rook d3, knight d3. I do kind of like the idea of like knight f5, but the problem is maybe this knight to f5 actually, keep the bishop blocked out. But then again, they can always take the knight. I mean, if knight takes back... Well, I guess queen could take, but we're kind of running out of pieces, aren't we? Or are we? Oh yeah, no, there's a knight on d3. I thought maybe somehow the rook was still alive, but no. So I don't know, it's not feeling great, rook d3. I feel like there's enough in the air to try something different. So what are our threats again? Knight h5 has the threat of knight f6 followed by queen h7. So knight h5, if they take our knight, I guess... Problem with queen g5 as there's bishop block. So it's an knight h5 pawn takes. Maybe now rook takes d3? But then we've already sacked and we don't have to take back. So maybe we should do this first and then go knight h5. Then bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes, and we get to a similar position as before. That might just not be enough. So what about knight h5 again? Knight h5, pawn h5. What do we do here? How does that work? Suddenly rook takes knight is good. Yeah, okay, so it's slightly different move order. So knight h5 pawn takes, rook takes d3. They cannot take because we've still got the knight. So then we just go like queen g5, king h8, and bishop f6. Yeah, we don't even need the knight. So knight h5, if pawn takes, rook d3. And I guess we're actually threatening to swing the rook in as well. This looks very strong. Incredibly strong. So I guess they can't take it. If they can't take it, I guess they can take our knight. We take back, and then they take. But their king is weak. I can take on c5, hit their bishop. Looks very strong. Looks very strong. Yeah, I mean, it has to be good. I mean, we didn't see anything else that was good, right? Were there any other candidates? Like some knight f5 immediately was something we were looking at. I don't really trust it somehow. Bishop takes, knight takes, and then this bishop gets back in the defense. Don't trust it. No, I think knight h5 was good. So they take this way. Isn't this just a transposition somehow? Or did we discuss this? I'm too brain dead to understand. I think we discussed this, right? This is the position we said was good. So I remember the resulting position, but not how we got there. That's really weird. So okay, we got this correct. G8-5, rook d3, knight d3, queen g5, bishop f6, yeah. I think maybe I did look at bishop d4. Yeah. Pass pawn and dark square domination does look very good. Nice. Whether it's bad, mood is good. That's a flex. If you can feel good despite the bad weather, that's a very good thing. I rate that. Rate that a lot. Loose knight on c5, yes. Ooh, so Fritz gives some long line involving knight f5. So knight gf5. I guess my feelings were just knight gf5. I thought they could just take the knight. Actually, knight gf5. Can't I just take twice? Bishop takes, then queen takes. Just queen takes, right? That's not what I said before, but I don't know, it just popped out. You can't do bishop g6 as it's blocked. Ah, okay, that's in response to Frizz's line. Is this the first or second book? Asked Kelvin. This is the first book. Definitely need more work on my forcing play. Also, given the work ethic and explanations of this first book, I'm not sure I have confidence in a positional manual going in the second book. Oh, but actually Kelvin's working on it. Okay, how is the second book? What do you think? I'm not, as you'll find out in these streams, I'm not the biggest fan of Axel Smith. Yeah, knight g5 didn't work, so I went on knight h5. Right. So I see your line now. Knight 5, g5, rook d3, nice. Bishop d4, queen d4. Yeah. Nice. Okay, I think we got there. Let's do another one. Oh, God. I can't believe one intermediate session of badminton has left me like so sore. It's actually crazy. I should not be feeling this sore. Oh, man. Right, Khalifman again. What's going on? We've got like a Slav-like structure, but Carlsbad structure. Big attack on the king side. So, we got queen, rook, rook, bishop, knight against queen, rook, rook, bishop, knight. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just sort of massive paragraph. Okay, let me read this from Kelvin actually, because before anyone has the answer to this exercise. The second book is good. It's a lot of pawn breaks and opening of positions, but then again, I'm only quarter way through my first cycle, so I'm confident on speaking about the whole. So not confident. I'm guessing there's a not. I'm not confident in speaking on the whole book. But okay, interesting to hear. That's so funny. That's so Axel Smith to focus lots on pawn breaks and opening of the position. I feel like that's so Axel Smith. I don't know why. I can't describe it, but it makes sense. Dark Side Chess, any plans to take up chess boxing? You know, I did consider it when I was living in London back in the day. Welcome, Dark Side, by the way. There's a club in North London. But the thing is, like, it was all shadow boxing. And I was like, you know what? If I wanted to actually do chess boxing, I want to get hit. I want to hit someone. Like, I don't want to just shadow box, you know? So I was like, either I go all in or not. And yeah, decided not to do it. That was also one of the disappointing things about like all this like martial arts at university. Because there's so many people, like most of it was just shadow. And then like only if you like, you know, get really into it and compete, then you actually get in the ring and box or whatever. So I don't know. I feel like shadow boxing or whatever, it's always like, it feels more like, I don't know, Pilates for men. You know, just like doing some fitness, right? As opposed to actually like, you know, getting really into the art of the craft. I don't know. But yeah, okay, let's keep thinking. So tension on G2, tension on H3. They've got tension on H7, got pressure on E3 as well. We're a bit underdeveloped. I mean, bishop H3 is somewhat calling out, but maybe there's no follow-up after something like this. So what about X-rays? X-ray to the rook. X-ray to the queen. Loose pieces. One loose knight. Okay, so what checks do we have? We got one check, that's about it. What captures do we have? We got knight takes g2, bishop takes h3. What threats do we have? We got queen g5. Because b5 could be something. Maybe bishop g4 is a threat. Rook e3 looks crazy. Rook e4 maybe. So okay, we got some moves. Rook e4 is interesting, maybe to tee up queen g6 if that's useful at all. So okay, let's start with our checks. Check here, just queen takes and there's nothing. Captures, what about knight takes g2? Knight takes g2, king takes? Oh, that looks kind of scary. Bishop takes here. If king g1, then we've got queen g5, queen g2. If king h2 or king h1, we've got a big discovery. Yeah, bishop g4 winning the queen at the least. So knight g2, this is huge. And what if they come forward? If they come forward to f3, what's the win? Knight g2, king g2, bishop a3, king f3. It has to be horrible. Got it. What's the win? I feel like f5 there is probably winning. Even if they move the queen out of harm's way, then we've got like, you know, queen h5 and we bring the queen in. That's got to be winning. So what? Knight g2, king g2. If bishop h3, king g3, is there something here? I guess at the least I've got bishop takes. But that's not ideal to lose knight bishop for rook and 2 pawns. Their king is very weak though. Knight g2, king g2. Bishop h3, king g3. To be fair, I could go queen g5, and if king takes h3, then rook e6. That also looks very strong. Yeah, it looks decisive actually. Yeah, so okay, knight g2 looks very good. If they can't take my knight, then have we just gained something? We have, right? Surely that's just useful if they play like king h2. It's very good. I mean, we've even got knight e3 there, pawn e3, rook e3. It looks very strong. Yeah, knight g2 just wins. Has to win. Bishop takes. King g3. So yeah, queen g5 was my solution. There's no queen g4 because I take it. They can't go back with the queen g2, so I just take and then rook e6. Queen g5. King h3. Wait, but what was wrong with my move order? Nah, there's no way queen g5 isn't working. Queen g5, king f3, queen g4. Queen g5, king h2, queen g2. Queen g5, king takes, rook e6. What am I missing? Even queen g4 is met by rook takes. I guess it has to be an error. No way rook e6 is forced. Queen g5 has to be working as well, and it's a check, so then it's a better move. What? Am I blind? What am I missing? Queen g5, king takes h3, rook e6 is winning. Has to be. It's winning. It's winning. Was I can't believe this. How is this +4? How is this +4? How is this not winning? I am completely gobsmacked. Oh, queen g4. The point is now that the king can go back. I didn't see that. Oh shit, I just lost the game. I just lost the game. Ah, this is why I don't like attacking chess. I don't like attacking chess. It's like, imagine playing this game for 15 years and you still can't see King G3 there. Actually insane. So what's the difference then of playing... Yeah, for anyone who didn't understand, just rook e6 is queen g4 and then there's just king g3. Just missed this move. So what's the difference? If I play rook e6 first, yeah, they can't play queen g4 yet. Also, it's really annoying Axel Smith doesn't give queen g5 and gives this line. I mean, I know it's bad, but it's like... I'm sure I'm not the first person to mess this up. Rook e6. Nice. Ah, so annoying. So annoying. Yeah, I always feel like these kind of attacks that just you gamble so much. I mean, if it's like your if it's like your only way to play your best chess, then you just kind of have to. But it's just like, I don't know. There's just so many less risky ways to play the game of chess. I feel like it's like, I don't know, someone who makes a living off of gambling or poker. It's like, if that's the best way you can make your living, then fine, you do it. You do you. But it's like, I can't think of any sane person who wants to play chess like this. If my life was on the line, I am grinding out a Carlsberg structure. I'm not like risking getting this right. It's too difficult. Yeah, king can hide behind the queen. Exactly. I love how geographical term says might not be queen g5 because then queen g4 after rook e6. And I saw that, but I didn't see the point that the king can hide. Thing is, in attacking chess, the defending side makes more mistakes than the attacking side. That's true up to a point. And once you reach a level where the defending side is actually goated, it's like you actually really need to like finesse your attacks to an unbelievable level to get them right. And I feel like because attacking chess, there's so much like intuition that goes into it. It's like oftentimes it is a little bit sloppy. And I guess like, you know, if your ideas are as like nuts as Mikhail Tal, then it can be sloppy and you can get away with it. But if they're just kind of like nice looking attacking ideas, they're probably just not going to work at a certain level. And I kind of found that myself. Like I went on this big journey during the pandemic of completely changing my playing style, completely going in for attacks. And I kind of got up to 2000 FIDE. Completely changed as a player. But I also got capped at 2000 because I just couldn't play attacking chess above this level. I do think also, you know, my poor tactical ability probably also capped me as well. Like maybe if I had my level of calculation skills plus the repertoire I had back then and the playing style, then maybe it could have worked. Maybe it could have worked. Maybe I should look back at some of these games actually. That would be an interesting stream actually. Look back at some of the games where I had like winning positions from my attacking style of play and see actually nowadays would I be able to convert them? Or is my calculation still not good enough? That'll be an interesting stream. Geographical term says I love attacking chess. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. Just... I guess like you kind of get the thrill of it without your life actually being on the line, right? Like maybe people don't want to have, you know, their career on the line by like being a professional gambler or something like this. Because there's too much at stake, right? Maybe as an attacking player, you just have to be like, okay, if I lose, I lose. Like there's not as much at stake. But if you care so much about losing, just like how you might care about losing money or whatever, then I don't know. I feel like way more mentally sustainable ways of playing chess. But this is, of course, just cope for me being bad at tactics. So, okay, good to see that, queen g5 wasn't working. At least I did find it in the end. And, I'm going to get in the zone for my chess lesson. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Nice to chat, nice to solve. And see you on Monday for some more chess training. But grind never stops. Okay, bye, guys.